calls me into his stupid little recording space, right, where he thinks he's the big man, and he goes, well, hey, it's just a preseason game, so let's keep everyone safe and make sure that there's no incidents. And of course, I'm thinking the whole time, well, how can I fuck with this? I'm starting Tom Wilson tonight. First preseason game against all of his scrubs.
I don't know, man. Isn't that kind of, proving his point?
What do you mean proving his point?
That no one likes you? That you're kind of a jerk?
Well, no, I've been really working on that. I actually got that self-help book right there.
This is literally the Satanic Bible.
Do you think it's a good one?
Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team, that is a dub! An NHL dub! Preseason, sure, but that's a dub! And it's a dub that we can be excited about, not even for the result. It doesn't even actually matter that we won. We had maybe combined between the two teams, there are a dozen guys that are actually going to be on the lineup come day one. No. Here's the best part. There were guys that should be doing well against that competition and looked good. And then there were guys that aren't really going to make the team at all, so you didn't really care that they looked bad. It's a win-win. Today was the first preseason game of the 2021-2022 season. There were no other Boston sports going on today. Well, maybe there's one, if it still goes well, it's ongoing. But the other one didn't happen. Not that there was one to happen, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's talk about this a little bit. The roster. Boop. Pretty fine. Whatever. DeBrusk makes sense. Try to build his confidence. Howla, you usually want one of those NHL caliber guys in the lineup who is, new to the team. He's still kind of getting synced in with everybody. That makes sense to see him there. A little surprised by Swayman. I did not think I'd see Swayman or Ullmark until later into the preseason. It's possible they're really just trying to amp up this battle between him and Ullmark right off the bat. I expected a Kaiser, Booth, Grosnick, one of those three starting, the other one taking over. That's fine. Sway looked mostly good. We'll get into that. There's a little bit of bad news. There's three bad newses, okay? The first one is Ryan Mast and Noah Dory both get sent out. They got cut already from camp. Now that's fine because Ryan Mast just got drafted. He's years away. Noah Dory, undrafted. And with not getting an ELC out of this camp, means his rights are still very much open to anyone until the season starts. And once the season starts, he has to go through the second year of his eligibility for the draft. I believe this guy is going to go within the first 4 rounds of the draft next year. I really like the potential this guy has. And I'm really interested in him, and I'm really bummed that the Bruins didn't give him a contract. We will see. But that's a year away, so who cares? That's your first bad news. The second bad news is Samuel Asselin did not play. He did not get cut from the training camp, the preseason roster. But he was originally supposed to play in this game. He was taken out. They never gave us a reason why. I thought a reason would have been released by now. I have not seen it. I will keep you guys updated if I do find out. Hopefully we get to see him in some preseason games coming up. I was really excited about what he would do. Last piece of bad news is I have to say this shit again. Like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it. Snuck it in. Sometimes I'm really foresightical, where I write a note before the game, way before the game, and it ends up coming true. Can't expect rough stuff already, right? ... Right? Aren't I funny? Aren't I a funny guy? I wrote that thinking, well, if it does actually happen, I'll say that joke. But I think it's funnier that I wrote that not actually believing any rough stuff would happen tonight. We're going to get there too. I don't know what they feed them over there in the nation's capital, but someone's got to calm down because this is getting old. Real old. Puck drops! And it's a messy start. It's always a messy start with these. There's a lot of people who the nerves are up. They got adrenaline flying through them. It's also a penalty-filled start. Pino's going to take a penalty right away on Steen the first minute of the game. There's a not so much fast break, but a lot of net front presence as we push our way in transition. Steen gets behind Pino. Pino hooks him to the power play. Nothing spells a lack of chemistry like an early preseason power play. Holy shit. We did not have a shot on goal. I don't know if we even tried to. Bad. Bad, bad, bad. Guys, special teams are very particular, and they're specific. And when you have different guys slotting in and out of them as you're trying to figure it out, you're not going to see a lot of progress on any of them. Preseason is for that. This was the first 3 minutes of the first preseason game, but it was rough. Now, I said that Swayman was mostly good. 4 minutes in, it's a shot from the point, and it's a save, but it's a save with very casual leg kick that brings the puck out to a pretty decent rebound. But we got ourselves in a weird situation. As he stared at it, Vakanainen was battling in the slot, and him and the guy he was battling with had no idea the puck was there. And then Lewington comes through with Snively. Am I saying that right? Snively? That's a brutal name. Lewington. Boxing out Snively as best he can. But he's just staring at Snively's chest. Well, Snively's aware of the puck. Comes in, scoops it, flicks it over with Swayman's glove. Boom. Now, first person you blame here is Swayman. Huge rebound. Ridiculous. Second person, Lewington, who did not have a good moment in this game. Third person, Vakanainen, who have a little awareness. Take a look around. But wait, it gets better. 10 seconds later, Lewington takes a penalty. Worse. It gets worse. We do kill it off. They also have 0 shots. Again, that's just part of special teams early in preseason. One of the more impressive lines in this game was our first line, and it was mostly because Haula and DeBrusk were just flying around. They probably should be feasting against preseason competition. Now, they were going against people like Wilson, like Orlov, so it's not like they weren't fielding any hockey players. A little weird to see Wilson out there. We kept Freddie on the bench. Like, relax, guys. DeBrusk finds himself in a nice position up on the top of the point. The puck just gets to him. It's a nice possession in the offensive zone that's continuing. DeBrusk, little wrister, to the net. Get the puck on the net. Gets kicked out to the right side, behind the net in the corner. Clifton jumps on it and just makes a ballsy move right to the net. Just goes for it. Little inside, outside smash. Gets saved. It's usually going to get saved if you're trying that. But it kicks right back out behind Clifton. And DeBrusk has circled the whole way. Keep that in mind. People will be doing that throughout this game. Circled the whole way. Gets the rebound. Buries it high blocker. 2 inches of space. Perfect. Beautiful shot. 1-1. Jakey has the first goal of the Boston Bruins season. Preseason, but still counts to me. Good job, Jakey. 1-1. Tie game. Wilson did have his various little moments where you're like, you're still running the edge. But look, that's Wilson's game. He's allowed to play the edge, of the game. It's the bullshit that we don't like. He does take a puck in the face at one point. Literally only pointing this out to you because most of you are Bruins fans, and you'll get to go, nice. Wilson's okay. I wouldn't be celebrating if he was actually hurt. But it was kind of funny to see him get hit in the face with a puck. Very softly, by the way. It was Lewington smacking the puck out of the air. Puck goes into Wilson's face. We all get to chuckle. I'm really surprised this was not called a penalty because Lewington's stick is high and Wilson's clutching his face. And I do believe the stick made a little contact with his helmet, like the top of the helmet. Still a little surprised it's not called a high stick, just because the play itself is dangerous, and that's kind of the meaning of the rule. We are going to take 2 more penalties before the period is over. We will kill both of them. The only reason I'm highlighting these is because V9 takes one of them. That means that Vakanainen and Lewington, who were the pair, second line, I believe, both took penalties. Both looked terrible. Vakanainen still needs more time. Again, he's 22. I don't want to crush this kid. He's still looking rough out there. But those two together, that's a pair made in a rundown Waffle House. That ain't good. I don't like it. And I never want to see it again. But we're going to go to the second period. And I told you, the DeBrusk Haula line, they're looking a little spicy. So how about another one? A minute into the period, Haula, left side, wins the faceoff because he was blowing him out of the water in faceoffs. He was crushing everybody. Wins it back to the left side. Puck gets cycled to John Moore on the right. Moore, wide open lane, smacks that all the way to the net. Who is already there for the tip? That's Hall of Famer. He went off the faceoff, curled, backside net, and waited. Nice little smack shot from John Moore. The tip is high glove. It's beautiful. That's 2-1. Love to see it. Haula was really impressive in this game. And I have to bring this up because I have slandered Clifton's name so much. Huge save by Cliffy. 5 minutes-ish into the period. Swayman makes a save, big rebound, goes down, wide open net. Clifton, point blank. Whoosh. I think he gets it with his knee. I'm alluding to glove. He didn't get it with his glove, but he gets it with his leg, saves a goal, easy. That is a great play. He was very, very solid in this game. I am not going to hate on a player and continue bashing them while they're playing well, because that's bullshit. Clifton, I hope you continue doing what you're doing. Because if you could be the sixth guy and hold a standard, like that's our worry, is that we have 5 guys who we think are NHL defensemen and a 6th guy who are like, if you got someone solid on the third line still on that right side, booyah. We're in business. 7 minutes in, Tom Wilson with a hooking right off a face-off. He then looks around like, what could you possibly be calling me for? It was a blatant hooking. Every player does this. I'm just getting my jabs in on Tom Wilson right now because I kind of need to. Like, I'm never going to fight the guy in person because he would kill me. Like, he would kick my ass. And I know you guys think I'm like a big tough guy. You watched me fight a bunch of mascots that one time. No, he would kick my ass. I'm just saying it. On that power play, we of course give up a breakaway to Sheary, basically right off the bat. And Swayman looks Sheary in the eye and just laughs and laughs and laughs as he tries to go 5-hole. And Sway's just like, out of here. We know Sway loves the breakaways because he just shuts them down. 10 minutes into the period, he will get switched out for Grosnick. Grosnick jumps in. Grosnick was fine. Sway, overall, really good. I thought he started shaky, too many rebounds, had a tough time tracking the puck at times, had a tough time tracking the puck after a save, but he settled. Second period was really good. Probably the last 5 minutes of the first period was really good. Third period, it's 2-1. 30 seconds in, and this is where things get dicey, guys. I don't understand the aura of the Washington Capitals. And I don't want to put this too harshly on him because I'm going to explain what the hit really was. Fogarty goes for the puck. It's on the right side at the corner of the offensive zone. And he pokes it deeper into the zone. What he does after he pokes is leans back. He tries to avoid the contact. Makes sense because he can see McIlrath coming. I think it's McIlrath. That's what the name I'm going to use. I know it was that name. I just don't know how to pronounce it. McIlrath is coming. Unfortunately, McIlrath has already decided to make the hit. The hit itself isn't super late. It's not a super late hit. As Fogarty's going back, I think this was an instinctual reaction. His arm is down. He does not raise it, and he does not lift himself up off the skates. Now, he tries to make good contact and leans into it, but he doesn't lift himself. Now, the problem with it, though, is he adjusted to make sure he made contact. And it's an instinctual thing. Like, if you ever are in any situation where you're trying to accomplish something physically, and whatever you're trying to accomplish shifts, your body naturally in the moment shifts with it, trying to accomplish whatever you set out to do. I think it was a natural, I just wanted to make contact. He ends up going shoulder through chin. It's a pretty rough hit. It's a 5-minute major. It's a game misconduct. I think it's well deserved. We talk about there being gray area with some of this stuff. There are going to be times, because the NHL wants to show it's taking head contact seriously, that hits like this are treated as blatant headshots. I don't truly believe that this guy meant to have a blatant headshot because the form of the hit was well enough. Arm down, lead with the shoulder, try to make contact in the chest. Fogarty leaned back, and he adjusted. I think it was instinctual. I want to give the guy a break. There's no news on Fogarty right now. It does not look good. It's a real bummer for him, and I really hope that it's not that serious. And if it is, I hope it's a speedy recovery. This was a tough one. This was one of those hits where you just have a hard time. Like, yes, you got to penalize that with 5 minutes. It really feels like it was an instinctual adjustment, and he just couldn't avoid it. Your argument against it, which is a good argument, is you know when you're going in for a hit like that they're going to try to avoid it. Pick your lane and stay in your lane. If you miss, you miss. It's a fair argument. I don't have a lot on that. But speedy recovery to Fogarty, please. And McIlrath, I don't think he'll see a long suspension for this if he really gets anything. Here's what also sucks. 5-minute power play. You'd feel pretty confident. 30 seconds into the third with a lead with a 5-minute power play. Within the first minute, we have a transition. We get into the zone. Howla dishes the puck off to DeBrusk on the left wall. And DeBrusk kind of panics with it and doesn't get it deep and just kind of tosses it because he has a Capital player on him. Tosses it to Ashan. And by the time Ashan gets it, that Capitals player is poking the puck off of his stick and going the other way. This leads to Lysell holding during that transition. So we are now 4-on-4. We get through it. Nothing happening on the power play. And then 45 seconds left of that power play, it's another call. Lauko coming through the neutral zone just makes contact with Sheary. Sheary's just standing there. It was a weird, I don't know what happened there really. But that's interference all day long. 45 seconds of 4-on-4, and then they're going to the power play. During the 4-on-4, it's a bad look. Grosnick just bites really hard. It's a pass that goes into the slot. Pylon, I don't think his name is Pylon. That doesn't make sense. Pylon is there to accept it. He has it on his forehand. Lewington is too far off of him and doesn't jump soon enough on him. He moves it to his backhand from the middle of the slot and just flicks it blocker side. Grosnick can't come up with a save. Grosnick bit way too hard on the initial pass. Just a tough look for everyone involved in that play. We got a tie game. They will go on the power play shortly after that because that was during 4-on-4 play. We do kill that. We are going to overtime. The biggest notes of overtime. Wilson and Lauko each have their breakaway moments. Lauko tries to go short side high. He's not able to do it. Clips off the bar. Wilson tries to go 5-hole. Get the fuck out of here, Wilson. Absolutely not. Grosnick is all over you on that one. We're going to a shootout because of course we are. Sprong goes first. It's a nice slow approach, but he quickly puts it on his forehand and just rips it by Grosnick on the glove side. Honestly, this is just kind of, you got beat cleanly by a shot. I would have liked to see Grosnick attack a little bit more. On the other hand, Halla casually approaches it and just roofs it glove side. Just kind of strolls up and just boop! 1-1. LaPierre slowly approaches, tries short side. Grosnick never moves. Like this, I don't know really what the plan was here. Maybe he was trying to slide it under the right pad. Grosnick never moves, just collapses the legs. Boom. Solid wall. Lysell on the other end, who did look pretty good this game. He comes flying down, a lot of handling, but runs out of real estate, cutting across. Vitek Vanacek follows him all the way there, keeps the glove up, doesn't raise it up enough. So that's going to be going to the third round, 1-1. McMichael, you want to talk about running out of real estate. Again, slow approach, comes from the left side, moves across the crease, and just has nowhere to go, so he tries to get fancy and pops it over Grosnick, but he misses by a mile. Who are we going to choose? The game's on the line. It's preseason, but you still want the dub. Who are you going to put in for the shootout? Jake DeBrusk. And he comes down nice and slow and just boom! High glove. What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? That's a game winner. Jakey gets it. That's 3-2 in the shootout. It's our first dub of the season, preseason, but I'll take it. I feel good after this game. Let's get to some game notes. First game note, Lewington was so bad. That's like the whole note. He didn't have a good play this whole game. Holy shit. Tough start for him, man. That was bad. But, like I said before, the players who are not expected to touch this team this year were the ones who had bad games. He was one of them. Lysell continues to be too easily pushed around, but he can fly. The stick handling is off the charts. He's a beauty. You name it, he's got it. This guy's going to be so good, just needs to put on a little bit of weight. I thought that Lauko was also wicked fast. He looked more ready to handle the size. He's also not a big guy, but he was more ready to handle the size around him. When he wants to make a play, he just decides on it and goes for it. It's a little frustrating because he doesn't think about the other things going on around him. Like, he just decided, I'm doing this. And no matter what's going on, he still tries to do it. So it's a little frustrating. But he did look great. And he will play in the NHL this season, and people are going to like him a lot, I think. He's going to be a fan favorite. Sway was shaky at first. We went over this, but he locked it down. Grosnick was fine. Grosnick's not going to be playing for the Bruins. And again, if he is, whoo, we are in trouble. Zaboro looks pretty locked in. He made some, your typical trying to do too much turnover moves. But for the most part, he looked good, but he did nothing during this game to surpass what Clifton has already kind of locked in on that right side. We're going to need to see Zaboral take it to another level to beat out Clifton during this preseason for that last defensive roster spot. Vakanainen still not there yet. Still needs more time. 22 years old. Still needs more time. Haula looked good, and it looked like he really wasn't even taking it that seriously. Super fast. Really smart. Understands the spacing. This third line might be really good, actually. Haula and DeBrus worked really well together. It's an overreaction off of one preseason game. I liked it, though. I liked it a lot. Lastly, the guy everyone's asking about, John Moore, looked fine. He had some good moments, some really good moments. He's still a little slow, but that's to be expected. I thought he did fine. He boxed out well. He's got that toughness, that grit. He wasn't turning the puck over. There's nothing that would make me go, holy shit, he needs to be in the lineup. But I'm comfortable if we go into the season and he's the 8th defenseman. I still want Zaboral in ahead of him right now, but I'm comfortable if he's our 8th. And I might be mildly surprised if he does more than that, because again, he looked pretty good. There were highs and lows, but for the most part, it looked pretty good. All right, guys, that does it for me. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. It's just one preseason game. We have so many more to go. We've got so many more to go, and then we have the season, and then we're going to win the Stanley Cup, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be so good. Check out the Short Shift Pod, linked below. Talk to me on Twitter, linked below. Check out Marissa's TikTok. She made the logo because she's awesome. Check out other stuff. Go Bees!